Here I've got my 12 volt DC heater. Was made entirely out of garbage. Let me take the protective caps off and I'll show you what we got here. Okay, the back here we have a 12 volt DC fan. It only runs at 3 watts rather, I'm sorry. 3 watt fan, 0.15 amps, and that pushes the air through. This is your power log. The bigger one's positive and the smaller one's negative. And these here are actually stair treads that I found in a dumpster. The hardware was just kind of laying around. These are actually faucet washers. There's a very large hole drilled in there to isolate this from the can. So you don't want that to be shorting out. So each one of these hooks, as you can see inside, are electrically isolated from the can. And the fan's hooked up, and you can see where the stair tread, how that goes in there on both sides. And I got my legs, which are just bolts. The coil is actually made out of an 18 gauge thermostat wire, which also is obtained from a dumpster. People just throw stuff out all the time. And I made a few test coils to figure out the proper length. And I'll hook this up as I'm explaining this. And I made a few test coils to find out the proper length for just connecting it directly to a battery. I'm going to hook this up. We'll run it off solar power here. And we'll put this on the plus. And I just kept, well, I added the whole roll, and I just kept taking a little bit off at a time until I found a proper length. So many actually use so many turns off of a pen. I'm going to go on the minus side. Get on there. I just turned it on. It's going to start glowing in a minute. There you go. Now this heater actually draws 55 to 60 amps on a 12 volt load, slightly higher on a 14 volt load. Basically, this coil is just a direct short across the battery, and the coil's internal resistance is enough to keep it from burning up. Now when I stop the fan, you'll see it. It's going to heat right up. I got about 3 hours on this thing. I don't want to, I mean, you can see it. The fan just basically to extend the life and to push the heat out. The internal resistance is enough that it won't actually burn it out if you stop the fan. You can see it cooled right off. I'd say it's approximately a 600 watt heater. And I don't really use it, I just made it for a hobby just to see if it would work. And it does.